Right now here on WQAD News 8 at 11, school evacuation after gunfire. Breaking news happening in Dixon, Illinois. What caused a district-wide lockdown?
Live from WQAD, this is News 8 at 11.
Over Lee County traffic, shots fired at Dixon High School, shots fired at Dixon High School. All units from Singer 133. I overheard Lee County traffic something about the gym area.
Police respond to a school shooting at Dixon High School this morning, moments after school begins. Welcome into WQAD News 8 at 11. I'm Jonathan Katz.
And I'm Angie Sharp. We are following this breaking news that's happening right now in Dixon, Illinois. The entire Dixon School District is on lockdown after a former high school student showed up to the high school with a gun and was confronted by a school resource officer. This story began developing around 8 a.m. this morning, just after classes started for the day. News 8's Jessica Dedita is live in Dixon to tell us what we know so far and where students are right now. Jessica?
John, Angie, it has been a chaotic morning for parents and students. Now we are here near the Al Morrison baseball field. This is where parents picked up their students after that shooting was reported shortly after 8 a.m. So most of the students have been cleared out. If you are a parent watching this and you have not picked up your child yet, just know that you do need to bring an ID if you are picking them up. Now this is what happened. Shortly after 8 a.m., Dixon police say that a former student came into the school and shot at a resource officer. Now that officer was not hurt. The officer did fire shots back and the suspect was injured but is expected to be okay. The good news is no other injuries have been reported, so no students or staff were hurt. Dixon police say that they are not looking for any other suspects at this time. Now, I do want to bring in Brianna. She is a student here. Brianna, tell me a little bit about what happened. You were in the auditorium doing graduation practice, correct? Or the gym, right?
Yeah. And so Dr. Grady was telling us how everything was going to go, what we were doing, how everything's going to, be announced and everything. And then he was talking about how we were going to, have a moment of silence for Kira and the Shaw family. And everything went quiet, and all of a sudden we heard these 3 pops. And then we saw Mr. McKay in the door, and he was like, what the heck is going on? Everyone just froze. We just sat there, and everybody's like, you need to run. There was a school shooting.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. All right, so everybody is kind of praising the school resource officer, Mark Dallas, correct? So how do you think his response was in all of this?
He wanted to protect us. That's his job, and he wanted to do that.
Very, very important. All right, so you text your parents, right? What was the text message that you sent?
First I texted my mom that I almost died, of course.
Oh my gosh.
And she was like, I hope you're okay. I'm glad everything's all right and everything. And then I texted my dad, and he was like, are you okay? I want to pick you up. Where are you? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. And, everyone's just freaked out.
Right, of course. And I know, all right, James, I'm going to bring over James. James is your father, so you were obviously freaked out getting that text message. As a parent, tell me what was going through your mind when you got that.
Well, I got the text message about 8:18 this morning, from my daughter. Like she said that she about died, and, there were so many emotions running through my head. I didn't know what was wrong. So then I kept asking her what happened, and she said, Dad, a kid brought a gun to school. And I'm like, well, was the shots fired? She's like, I think so. And then I just instantly got up and got dressed and was coming down here to the school. I got the call from, the principal, make sure you bring an ID. There was an active shooter, and then she was further texting me about what was going on and everything like that. And I had so many emotions going on in my head right now. I knew both of my kids were there. It's her graduation practice day. She's supposed to be graduating Sunday. And, to think in a million years that my daughter and my son could have been taken away from me in a blink of an eye just by irresponsibility act of gun violence, that was not necessary. I mean, my life flashed in front of my eyes. I saw, I just kept thinking about my kids. I need to go. I need to hurry up and get there. I get here, and there's just so much congestion, so much confusion. Parents freaking out, parents crying, didn't know what was going on with their kids, getting told so many different things. And, you see on the news all the time that there's school shootings in other states. I've been in Dixon for 8 years now, and never in a million years did I ever think once that it was going to happen to my kids. And to get that text message, and my heart skipped a beat when I knew that any minute my daughter and my son could have been taken from me. But just for my daughter texting me and reassuring me that they were both okay, gives me a sense of relief. These are my babies. I only have 2 of them. And so I just want to thank the Dixon PD, for the fast response that they got to the school, make sure the kids were okay. I want to thank them for protecting not only my children, but the thousands of other children that are in that school, making sure they're okay. I want to thank, the officer, Dallas, that was involved in the whole situation of, getting everything taken care of. I hate that shots had to be fired, but I think he had the situation under control. As far as the teachers and the staffing at Dixon High School, they've been great. They've been wonderful. I can't thank them enough. I can't thank the good Lord above enough for my kids being safe, with their friends and all their other classmates.
Yeah, and we're so thankful to hear that they are safe too. And thank you so much for sharing your story. I know you're visibly shaken, so I really appreciate you guys talking to me. Again, we are so glad that everybody is safe, that no injuries were reported. Now, we are waiting for a press conference to start. It is supposed to start shortly after 11, so it should be coming up anytime soon. We will stay out here and keep you up to date with any information as soon as that becomes available. But for now, John and Angie, we're going to send this back to you.
All right, Jessica, thank you so much. We have the press conference streaming live on WQAD's Facebook page. It has not started just yet, but we are keeping an eye on it. And of course, we will bring that to you live as soon as it starts. So just a reminder that the suspect was injured. His injuries are believed to be non-life threatening. He is in custody and receiving medical treatment at this time. City manager is saying that no students or staff were injured in the incident. Dixon High School, all Dixon public schools are on lockdown right now. Dixon police believe the suspect acted alone. There is no further threat to the safety of students or staff. We will continue to follow this breaking news and developing story. I have expanded coverage at WQAD.com right now. We've posted several social media posts online with reaction from more students and more parents. We also have the 911 audio that was handled by the Dixon Police Department. So stay up to the minute with information from WQAD.com and all of our social media platforms. Again, we will get that press conference to you live as soon as it starts. But in other news this morning, lawmakers in Illinois are considering several gun bills. The House has a bill that would allow family members and law enforcement to petition the courts to take guns away from the homes of dangerous people. Meanwhile, a Senate bill would require anyone who agrees to accept those guns to sign an affidavit saying they would not return the guns without legal clearance. The Senate already passed a bill to ban bump stocks and trigger cranks. Illinois lawmakers are also considering whether graduate student researchers can form unions. The House Labor and Commerce Committee is meeting today to possibly allow all graduate students to collectively bargain. State law says students who work as teaching assistants can unionize, but not those who work as research assistants.
Well, for the second year in a row, a record number of people visited Illinois. Last year, 114 million people came to enjoy the land of Lincoln. Because of that, more people have jobs in the Illinois tourism industry, up by 18,000 in the past 2 years. The state claims money spent by tourists saves the average Illinois household about $1,300 in taxes each year. On the weather front this morning, nothing but sunshine and warm temperatures for the Quad City area today. The perfect conditions for farmers to get their to-do list done. Storm Track 8 meteorologist Eric Sorensen joins us live from Galesburg, where he's giving away free WQAD coffee mugs today and getting a look at lots of new farming technology. Hi, Eric.
Yeah, that's what this is about. We're at Martin Sullivan right here on the northeast corner of Galesburg, kind of at I-74 and the Cloverleaf at 34 on the northeastern section. Hey, it's coffee break, so we're giving away News 8 coffee mugs if you come on out here through about noon. And we're also going to be talking about kind of the new technology here, not only for those who are in the fields, but for the backyards as well as we get into the season of lawn mowing. You know, it shouldn't be a chore all the time, right? It's not always a chore for farmers to get out and live in the fields, right? Hey, we'll check in on that in just a few minutes. We want to look outside right now because, hey, we've got nothing but sunshine, and what a great weather day this is. 71 degrees is the temperature right now in Davenport. Wind east at about 5 miles an hour. Here in Galesburg, we're 73 degrees, as well as Burlington, 72, Princeton, and Dixon, 70 into Savannah. Nothing but sunshine outside, and guess what? That continues into the afternoon. The nearest clouds are way out into the northern sections of Missouri. So looking at our forecast for the next 8 on 8, we're looking at temperatures that will go up into the lower 80s for this afternoon, but low humidity around the next couple of days. Unfortunately, our humidity rises and thunderstorm chances approach for the weekend. Not a complete washout. Full forecast is a few minutes away.
Sounds good, Eric. Thank you. Well, Olive River Drive in Davenport is opening back up today after flooding on the Mississippi River. However, city leaders say that you should still expect some lane reductions in some areas. Public Works crews started cleaning up leftover sand yesterday from the HESCO barriers. Crews are also taking down barriers between Irish Street and Pershing Avenue today. Credit Island, along with other recreational areas, are not expected to open back up until next week. The Mississippi River in the Quad Cities is about 1.5 feet over flood stage right now. It's expected to be back in its banks by Sunday.
If you have late fees at the Davenport Public Library, you can expect to get a letter in the mail this week. It's not asking you to pay your fine, though. Instead, the letter says the fine has been forgiven. That's after the library received a $4,000 donation. The money will cover late fees on 300 kids' accounts. Employees say they hope that will get kids back to the library.
So it's really nice to have somebody else in the community recognize how important that is and contribute towards it.
The money donated comes from the John J. and Bet J. Schmidt Fund.
Still to come in the second half hour, caught off guard.
Why President Donald Trump's high-stakes summit with North Korea could be in jeopardy. Eric?
Coming up after the commercial break, we'll talk about our forecast, including more sunshine. This is perfect for farmers to get out in the fields and finish the planting. We'll let you know about new technology and why Martin Sullivan should be your one-stop shop. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
First, though, our trivia question on this Wednesday morning. What is the seed inside an olive called? A pit, a ball, or a marble?
We'll start with caller 8 at 309-736-3288. The first correct answer will be eligible to win a $15 gift certificate to Twisted Trunk Olive Oil Company in Davenport. We'll have the answer later on WQAD News 8 at 11.
You're watching WQAD. This is News 8 at 11.